Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my new video where we are going to be talking about my absolutely favorite new support. Now, if you're kind of new to the channel, my name is LowFit. I do educational content, I do guide videos, I do tip videos, but I play a shitload of AP mages in the support role. I think it is the best way to carry yourself out of low elo, and it has been a long time where I have felt this powerful in the role right now when I'm able to pick up Neeko. I have played over the couple of seasons, through a couple different accounts, I've played hundreds of games on Zyra, Vel'Koz, Veigar, Karthus, Morgana, Karma, all trying to make them brand, trying to make them work in the AP mage support. But there has not been something that has felt this strong. I urge you to try. If you are a person playing support, I urge you to try playing Neeko. I know that kind of the flavor of the month right now is to try and make her work in the on-hit kind of build, but she is just an absolute monster in the support role. She has just an amazing kit. I know I made a video right when she got released talking about Neeko, but I want to particularly talk about her, give 5 tips that I think really can help the support players that want to pick up this champion. Now I'm going to run through a couple different tips for her, and then at the end I'm going to just show, we'll just put a couple highlights and just kind of the craziness that you can do with Neeko. I think she's kind of a mix of what Morgana and Zyra, because she has a long root and then she can throw her abilities over, and then also she has a great engage with her ult similar to Morgana, and it is just an absolute blast to play. I don't remember the last time I put in like 9-10 games in a single day, and that was yesterday, and just had an absolute blast. As you can see by the OPGG, I just feel like it's in a really strong spot. It probably is going to be prone to nerfs because there are going to be I've already seen so many videos talking about the on-hit Neeko, and I know her numbers are probably going to get affected. So abuse it while you can. That will wrap up the intro. And as always, guys, with my videos, if you have any questions for me, just hit me up in the comments down below, and I will make sure to help you out. Alright, let's jump into the first tip. Now I want to talk about where Neeko is extremely strong. What you want to look at doing when you are playing Neeko in support is to prep up your W for a empowered auto on your next, and then generally you want to fight or when the minion wave is around, because your E will get empowered. So it might look like something like this. You throw out your E, get the empowered auto Q, and then that's going to be your pretty strong trade. So that is going to be your most ideal trade. It's going to be around minions with a buffered W auto attack, and this should really lead to Neeko. It will be so hard to out trade, especially with your W on use. When they try and do any kind of return fire, you're just going to go invisible and go away. And then also you can obviously augment it with your ult, and it will do really well. Some things I actually really like on Neeko is the Nimbus Cloak to give you the increased movement speed on your ult, and then also the approach velocity to really make it so you can get into a great position with your ultimate, just to help you just get off those good ults, because it is a very obvious ult and a lot of people are going to be trying to run away from you. And that will wrap up tip number 1 with Neeko support. Alright, and jumping into tip number 2. Now this is actually going to be really important, and this is pretty much only going to be for this support lane when you are doing it. So what I want you guys to think of when you are playing Neeko is that you are very reliant on your E for peel and stopping these ganks. So here, let's set up the target dummies in kind of a regular situation you're going to find yourself in. Maybe a support here, and the jungler is following up, and then there's an ADC right here. What they're going to be looking to do against you is to bait out your E and then all in. So you want to save your E for the most opportune moment, and when that opportune moment comes, it is going to be after they've used and engaged. Say the Lee Sin is used as Q in. That is the timing you want to look for your E. You do not want to be throwing out a max range E before they have used any of their movement ability spells, because that is really going to put you in a lot of trouble. You want to bait them out first, let them get closer so they have less time to react, and then try and even throw it from the bushes. And if you follow those couple of rules to help increase your accuracy on your E, it is going to really help. And then generally when the champions are all in, they're going to be less likely to dodge. On top of both of them are going to be on really close, and you can look for an AoE E because they're both trying to hit the same target if they are both melee champions. So really do not be throwing out these max range E's unless you guys are at like a super, if they're right here and you're right here, you're just going to throw out a zoning E while you run away if you're not looking for a turnaround. If you're looking on how to do a turnaround in a 3v2 situation, I am going to have some highlights at the end of the video where I actually do a 3v2 turnaround with, I think it's me and a Draven, and we just get a massive turnaround when I hit both my E and Q on 2 people, and it just does a massive amount of damage. And that'll wrap up tip number 2. Alright, and jumping into tip number 3 for Neeko. Now, she doesn't have the biggest amount of mobility, but a great thing that Neeko has is her ability to scout out with her W. So this is really going to help with not having to face check on Neeko. So what you want to do when you're looking for a deep ward to scout out both of these, this is one of my favorite ward spots, is just right here because you're able to see both the blue and the Gromp. What you want to do is just throw out your W, and then that will scout it out, see how it gives you vision, and then you know you're safe to put down your ward. So make sure to use your W. You can also shapeshift into the person with the most threat, and say you have a 4-0 Darius in the top lane. Maybe you want to just transform into the Darius, and this will provide you with a little bit of threat, and people will be less likely to go in on you. So really look to use her kit to augment her warding ability, because it will really help and prevent you from getting picked off in those really inopportune situations where supports are just a little bit under level compared to the rest of the map and can get one shot. So just use your W and your passive to augment that, and that will wrap up tip number 3. Okay, and let's jump into tip number 4. Now I want to talk about where Neeko can really shine, and that is from the flank. And I want to show you kind of a common position where a team fights are going to occur a lot, and this is going to be kind of around objectives. Say you have a team right here and their team is right there. This is going to be an amazing spot for the Neeko to be. And how I want you guys to augment this is with control boards and oracle lenses, because you are still really squishy because you are a support. What you want to do is get this flank off and really look to take full advantage of your massive amount of AoE. How I want you to start off the combo when you are looking to to flank, excuse me. You want to throw out your E, Q, R, and then just flash in and make sure you're getting as many people as possible. And this will provide such an insane amount of damage and CC that it will be really hard for your team to lose. Also, it is all about finding that flank. So maybe if you go around the back, or maybe you look deep here and then you flash over, or your W over, always look to take advantage of the fog of war with Neeko, because she is equivalent to what a Kennen can do out of the flank of Vladimir, what they can do, because you're providing so much CC and AoE damage. You should always be looking for flanks, especially when you have your Zhonya. She is a bit like Morgana. I think I said that a little bit in the intro, because you can get off insane engages with her. When you have your Zhonyas, you just pull out your combo and then use Zhonyas, and they are going to either have to sit there waiting for you to get out of Zhonyas or engage after taking a large amount of damage. So that will wrap up how you want to look to do team fights. Obviously, there's 2 ways. One, if you're a little bit farther ahead, you want to look for those flanks. But the second way, if they have a lot of divers, you can just look to peel for your ADC and wait for them to use their engage tools. Wait for the Fizz to Q in on your ADC, or at least be in the Q animation, or the Lee Sin jumping in with this Q and then throwing out your E on the divers that are looking to get. Also, your ult can be used for great engage tools. Say they have a Sivir, a Malphite, and just a Galio mid lane, and all these champions that are just looking to dive in onto your backline. You can just look to use your ult to just disengage, because no one wants to get hit by this large stun and damage ability. So that will wrap up this tip. And again, if you guys have any questions for me, I really try and get around to all of them. I know I miss a couple, but I will try and help anyone that just sends me a message on Discord or a comment down below. If you have any questions about doing engagements and how you should be using your abilities in team fights with Neeko. All right, let's get into tip number 5. Now, this is going to be a little bit more about your build and how I want you guys to look at the different builds you can go with Neeko. Is first, if you're someone that really is struggling with poor teammates, I just want you to go to a straight damage, like you're almost like a mid laner, and put as much damage as you can with a Luden's Echo Rush and then a Comet for lane dominance and getting those early kills. But if you have a team that is rather, you have a lot of carries, but you have very little utility. For example, you have a Draven ADC, a Master Yi out of the jungle, maybe a mid lane, like a Kassadin, and then like a Darius in the top lane with very little utility. The Frozen Augment, GLP, and Twin Shadow build can be very good because it's going to set up your ultimate. It's going to get all those slows off. If you want an example here, let's just teleport back here real quick. Let's sell this, and let's just grab a couple of the items. So obviously I'm not going to have the Frozen Augment right here, but it is a really good room because you have a great auto attack range. You can proc the slow and then look for your E. But how you'd want to do your all-in, for example, would be you'd want to throw out your Hex Tech to get the slow, and then you will have an increased chance on your slow or on your root with that E. So that was a little bit sloppy. So you'd want to, again, you'd maybe want to proc these from far away, maybe throw out your E there, and then you could do something like this, and this will provide you with the maximum amount of peel. This should really be used if your team just needs to be augmented with a little bit more utility and they have like a squishy backline that is very susceptible, like things like Azir and Ashe that can really be bursted out if they get CC'd. And that will wrap up tip number 5. Thank you guys so much. I can't believe we hit 5K subscribers already. It's crazy. I think I've just been doing this for around a year. I think I started last year around March, and I'm so happy. I've met so many cool people, and I've just had such a blast making these videos. So if you enjoyed the content, please remember to like and subscribe. And as always, guys, take it easy.